Holy shit. Isn't that crazy, man?
It's crazy. That happened 12,000 years ago, right? So we're not talking about something that's a long time ago. And then boom, that shit melts and becomes an interior freshwater ocean. I mean, it's essentially what it is.
Dude, it's like our entire civilization is living the way like a middle-aged alcoholic who's starting to realize all the trouble they caused lives, but still gonna keep drinking, kind of like. It's like if you look at like our whole species as one thing, it's like right now we're dealing with like the same thing maybe smokers deal with after a lifetime of smoking. Like suddenly health effects are starting to happen, right? We've had like a nice run, but now we're starting to get a little bit of payback for all the decisions past generations have made. We've got fucking radiation pouring into the ocean. The ice caps are fucking melting. And then on top of that, the majority of us can't deal with that. We either say fake news or we say, nothing, I'm going to be dead anyway, man. Those are the two things. Because to me, like this fucking amazing thing about being a human is that we are like a technological hive that has built itself around a planet using the materials of the planet to make technology. And we're still at the point of hive life where we're pretending there's different bees when we're all the same fucking bee. You know, it's just some of us are running weird operating systems and we can't accept the fact that it's like, listen, we're a fucking hive of super advanced primates that are all living together in a hive. Because that's the overview effect, man, where astronauts talk about flying over and looking down. It's like, it's all the same. The cities are mostly all the same. Mm-hmm. The structures all look pretty much the same. Of course, it's a fucking hive, a schizophrenic hive, where pieces of the hive are like, yeah, over there, we gotta bomb that part of the hive because that part of the hive is different than us. So that part of the hive wants to hurt us. And, pheromones being released, not by queen bees, but by influencers, like the news, the media, blasting out this data pheromone that gets us ready for the wars, gets us ready for the violence, tries to justify it, rationalize it. And then there's other weird new, like little mini queen bees popping up, releasing weird pheromones. The influencers, they're like, some of them are making people dress a certain way, fashion or whatever. Some of them are making people freak out. Some of them are making people more calm. But we're dealing with the fact that we're all starting to wake up, right? We're all gonna have to wake up to the fact that we're all the same thing, living in a hive, and that if we don't come to that epiphany as an individual, we're probably fucked. Like, we figured out how to split the atom. I think you gotta get pragmatic. There's that thing Jean-Paul Sartre said, but it has stuck with me ever since I heard it, which is whatever you do, you give the planet permission to do. You give everyone permission to do. So, to me, what's helped me live a little less in a crazy asshole way is realizing that if I can't stop, using as much plastic as I do, the world's fucked. If I can't stop any kind of activity that I look into the world and think, man, why are people doing that? Then the world is fucked. Because if I'm sorry, man. Can I rant about a quick story? Do you mind? I'm sorry. That Gandhi story? The one about this, who knows, could be fake news. I don't care. It's a parable. It's cool. But this woman brings her kid to Gandhi and says, I can't get him to stop eating sugar. And Gandhi says, come back in a month. And she's like, all right. Comes back in a month, and Gandhi looks at the kid and goes, stop eating sugar. And she's like, why did you wait a month for this? And Gandhi's like, well, I wanted to see if I could stop eating sugar first. So it's to me, it's cool, right? There's a listlessness in the world because everyone wants to be heroic, but people are wanting to act on the global stage while neglecting their home, their family, themselves. And it's frustrating because why wouldn't you think that? Because it seems like we're being, you're seeing the big scale of things, but it's personally, when I fucking finally it clicked, man, I can't change anybody else. I'm not gonna make anyone do anything. I'm not going to make anyone meditate. I'm not going to make anyone do this or that or do anything because everyone's doing their own trip anyway, man. Who the fuck am I to say? What a relief.
But that's part of the problem, right? Is that people are trying to get people to behave a certain way. That's we're experiencing a lot of that right now.
Yes, man. And it's like, the thing is, the impulse is noble, but it's, unfortunately, it's like trying to build a fucking second story house when you haven't built the first story, which is like, you need to like get your own house in order. Yeah. And then maybe there's some teaching, but usually by the time that happens, you're not a talker, you know? And so to me, that has been like a real exciting thing to realize. This is Jack Cornfield says this. I'm sorry if I've said this before. Tend to the part of the garden you can touch. And that's it. So it's like, to me, it's just a big relief. Number one, you can't do shit for anybody else but yourself. Number two, you don't need, none of us know. We don't have to impose some moral thing on you, but there is one actionable thing, an action anyone can take, which is amoral, which is find out who you are. That's it. Find out who you are. Who are you really? What are you? Explore that shit.
Right.
And then see how you start changing.